Yes, I'm fine, thank you. So as I said, we can start anytime. No, I'm here.
Studying abroad has never been this exciting. With so many options for study destinations, universities, and study programs, there is something for everyone. To make it even more fun, we now have the AssistEd app, an enterprising initiative created with the sole purpose of guiding those in the field of international student recruitment to get access to accurate information hassle-free. As a student, AssistEd app will help you chart out the journey from application submission to enrollment at the university effortlessly, ensuring that you get the best-in-class service every step of the way. As an educator, AssistEd app can give you access to an active student community along with international branding and marketing by providing you with the relevant support and service throughout the recruitment cycle. From application processing to conducting webinars and virtual fair, and from engaging qualified agents worldwide to promoting your university globally, you can do it all with AssistEd app. As an educational consultant, AssistEd can be your go-to app for reaching out to the students in your territory, communicating and counseling them to offer your services, and at the same time, network with top educators internationally and brand your consultancy with minimal investments. Download the AssistEd app to start a new chapter in international student recruitment today.
Hello and welcome everyone to today's session from the Assisted Mobile App Group about studying abroad with scholarships in Europe. A warm welcome from my side. I'm just waiting for the tech team to put the slides. I think they will very soon. And then we can get started. Yes. Okay, excellent. So, my name is Gesa Heim. I hold an MSc in Higher Education and Science Management, and I'm specialized in German and European higher education and its sectors since over 15 years. I'm a senior expert in the YUF team, and I'm based in Berlin, Germany. Quite cold and windy today, anyways. And I'm very happy to talk to you today. So today we are going to have 3 parts of the session. So in the first part, I'm going to explain to you our special feature YUF, your Uni Finder, for finding universities in Europe that do not charge tuition fees for the studies. And then I'll give you a brief overview on different scholarship options that you have in Germany, Europe, and very easy to get, or not easy to get, but very important information on how to apply to the universities without tuition fees plus getting a scholarship. And then the last part is a general overview over our assisted mobile app and its features. All of this should not take longer than 30 minutes, and we'll have plenty of time for your questions if you have any after that. Okay. My first most honorable part is always to convince you that it's a very, very good idea to study in Europe, especially in countries like Germany, Austria, Switzerland, Liechtenstein, Luxembourg, and some others. as unlike other European countries, these countries do not distinguish between local and international students when it comes to education and tuition fees. Countries like Germany, Switzerland, Austria, but also Italy offer scholarships to students based on their financial background as well as on their educational acumen. And there are hundreds of different types of scholarships available with most institutions. In Germany, for example, believe it or not, we charge low or no tuition fees to all of our students at public universities, neither to internationals nor to domestic students. Hundreds of top-ranked universities offer their study programs to you at affordable living costs. Lots of study programs by now are taught in English, especially on the master's level, I must say. On the bachelor's level, it's a lot less. We have great job opportunities for international students already during their studies and also graduates, and high chances of settling in Germany after completing education. Internationally recognized degrees are offered, and once you are in Germany on a Schengen visa, you are entitled to travel in most of Europe on a student visa. And you can become part of a very diverse and exciting community here. Moving to our beloved neighboring countries, I'm going to move to Austria first. In Austria, you find highly specialized study programs in English language offered to international students, and the quality of life is actually very high in Austria, with a high level of social security and universities who promote student participation in sports and recreational activities. It is known to be one of the most livable countries in Europe and quite an affordable study destination. Moving to Switzerland, it is known as one of the really safest countries in the world, and it offers excellent study programs at affordable costs to international students. Sharing its borders with 5 other countries, it is a traveler's paradise. Swiss scientists are held in high demand all over the world, and the country has a penchant for efficiency, which is well reflected in its transportation and all public access systems. The geography of this beautiful country is as diverse as the people. With 4 languages spoken officially in Switzerland, it's at least a quite polyglot and open society. Now, what we know is that you face many challenges when you try to find the right destination for your study abroad term. Like, how can I find the right program for me? And where and how do I submit my applications? What are the documents required? And where do I get my attestations done? What are the next steps to take before I can start to study abroad? And what kind of questions will I be asked in the visa interview once I got my university admission, right? Those and many, many other questions come into your mind if you prepare your study abroad. And luckily, we can assist you with these questions. Yes, who we are? We are a professional recruitment and higher education consulting team with years of experience in recruitment for the European and worldwide higher education sector. We have experience not just in recruitments, but also in visa processing, accommodation assistance, and scholarships. We are committed to providing you assistance from start to end in every aspect of your university admission. The application submission, coordination of the process with the university, visa support, accommodation questions, projects during your studies, and many more aspects. We developed for you what we call the perfect triangle: predict, support, succeed. We predict the admission probability with our unique artificial intelligence-based app Assisted, relying on data from previously admitted students and 500 plus universities. Support: personal guidance by our expert team through the jungle of application to universities that offer scholarships and free education. Because you have to know that if you apply to universities that offer free education, that do not charge tuition fees, their service for the application process might not be very extended, because actually, they don't have active student recruitment. So the students who arrive there, they arrive there, and that's fine, but you do not get so much active support. So this is exactly the gap we would like to bridge. And we would like to help you to succeed and enroll in one of Europe's excellent academic environments and benefit from high-quality higher education with accredited world-class universities top quality living conditions, and very positive prospects for your future career and life. Now I'm going to explain you the steps a little bit further, right? Because this is really the core of what we can offer you within the Your Uni Finder. Now, how does this prediction work? We take information from past data in our vast database and compare your profile with the variables to find a match, which helps us to predict your admission chances with ease. YUF structures the available information for you in clear lists where you can easily get an overview, compare, mark, and manage your favorite options, and directly ask us to assist you with your application. In the second stage, we suggest options to you with a high individual chance of admission to a university that exactly matches your profile. And no other platform or agency has developed a system to offer exactly this service to you. So this is exclusively available here via the YUF feature of the Assisted Mobile App. Our AI-powered system ensures that you find the probability of admission to your chosen universities with minimum efforts. You can get access to our panel of assisted experts who provide end-to-end support for all your application activities. You don't miss out on important deadlines, information, or know-how relevant to your admission process. And you know that deadlines and perfect documents are a very, very important aspect if you apply to tuition fee-free universities in Europe. Succeed and get admission to one of your top choice universities. Get assistance on visa support activities like visa submission documents, interview question preparation, and so on. We will assist you in getting all the information you need on accommodation facilities in your host country, if you like, of course. It doesn't stop there. We even help you find quality project and internship opportunities with top institutions and companies in Europe. If you like, become a part of our network once you are admitted, consult fellow students about your personal key to success, and keep in touch with us and become part of our community. So I'll wrap up the process for you, the YUF process. You choose your country. I mean, once you download the app and you type in your academic profile, right? That's the first step. Then you choose your country or your countries and you choose your courses. And then you can predict the admission probability at different universities. Like it will display to you at which universities you have a high probability of being admitted. Then you make the decision, okay, I know now to which universities I can best apply. I can just go ahead and do the application myself. So please go ahead and good luck with that. Or you opt in and let us help you and support you with your application and go through the YUF system very smoothly, guaranteed punctuality, deadline not missed, all the documents will be in the right quality and so on. Of course, we need your cooperation for that. And you will, if everything goes well, receive the admission at least at one of the universities of your choices, maybe even at more. Then you can opt in or opt out for our service to prepare your study visa. You can opt in or opt out for our accommodation service and become part of our student network if you like. So this was the general part about the Your Uni Finder and how to find universities that offer free education in Europe. And now as a second part, I would like to introduce you to the landscape of scholarships in different European countries. Because when I say tuition fee waiver, no tuition fees, study for free, that means, of course, okay, I don't need to pay for the study program, but I might need a scholarship for my daily living expenses. So depending on the criteria applicable, European universities are known to offer scholarships that include not just the tuition fees, but sometimes even accommodation and other expenses. Some of the most commonly scholarships include starter scholarships, academic scholarships, public funding, governmental scholarships, scholarships for the living expenses, social grants, fee waivers, Erasmus scholarships, and many more. So you always have to check out exactly what the conditions of the scholarship is that you apply for, not for you to be surprised what you actually receive at the end. The second possibility is actually student loans that can add to your scholarship an important amount of money, for example, if you just get a partial scholarship. Many government-funded and non-government-funded loan resources offer loans which are often with zero or very low interest rates to students looking for financial support for the international higher education. Even universities have established their very own loan schemes and promote and support foreign students to study abroad. Some of the things you should keep in mind when planning for a student loan include: the loan schemes are often limited and may not cover all your study living costs. If it's a public scheme, it might not charge interest. However, there may be limitations on the time duration of the payback. So please make sure that you get the details upfront for those terms. Non-government resources will have low interest rates mostly, but may have limitations on the amount you can actually borrow. In short, student loan schemes can be your complementary fund, and you may need to find other sources to cover the remaining costs of your study abroad. So please make sure to do a thorough check in the terms and conditions before you get started. Now we move to real scholarship, not student loans. For example, in Germany, the situation is like this. It is quite hard to rely only on scholarships, but they will certainly add a great amount of money in your budget to cover your living expenses while studying in Germany. And since there's a wide variety of them, it is highly suggested that you get and seek one. The Deutschlandstipendium, for example, is a starter scholarship that is awarded based on academic merits, and you would have to be admitted to a university and already start to study there. So this would provide you with 300 euros or even more, I think 360 euros per month, which is a partial scholarship, obviously, based on academic merits. There are DAAD-funded scholarships, and I'm going to say a word more about this in a second. Erasmus Plus, if you want to move from one country to the other, for example, you study a bachelor in Germany, but you want to do one semester in Vienna, you can apply for the Erasmus scheme, which is valid also in the other European countries, by the way. And then we have talent-promoting foundations that award scholarships to international students. They are often affiliated to political parties, but this doesn't do any harm, you know. If you are an activist for environmental questions, liberal questions, and so on, you might be eligible to affiliate with this party. You do not need to become a member and can get accordingly scholarships like from the Friedrich Ebert Foundation, from the Social Democratic Party, Heinrich Böll Foundation from the Green Party, very famous for giving scholarships to students who deal with issues of sustainability, or Hans Böckler Foundation, which is a foundation that promotes the participation of first-generation academics at German universities. Additionally, some universities share a lot of scholarships to international students to help them and boost their attractiveness. So I mentioned the DAAD, which is a large organization, the German Academic Exchange Service, whose mission is to promote internationalization of German universities by creating countless funding and counseling opportunities for inbound and outbound talented students in Germany. And as you can see, these are just numbers, but every year they have a huge amount of scholarships. So it is highly recommendable that you go to their website, www.diad.de, and look for the scholarship database there. And you will find all the opportunities that could help you finding a scholarship in Germany. In France, there are also scholarships. I didn't mention France before. So a few key facts here. France has become a very popular study destination for international students. However, study and living costs in France is not always affordable. Although annual tuition fees at public universities are low at 200 to 600 euros, it could go as high as 10,000 euros at private universities. Living costs is around 10,000 euros a year. Fortunately, there are a number of French scholarships for international students that are being offered, like the Eiffel Excellence Scholarships, the École Normale Supérieure International Selection, Ampere Scholarships of Excellence at the ENS de Lyon, and so on. These are rather elitist scholarships that we mention here, but there are also schemes that are more widely accessible. You should also, in terms of scholarships, look at Scandinavia, although Scandinavia really started to charge relatively high tuition fees to students. So we are telling you this just, to have a complete picture. The Swedish Institute, they have the Visby program, and there are scholarships offered by individual universities, and also country-specific offered scholarships to international students from certain countries. Funds come from university, independent foundations, and other types of organizations. Okay, I don't want to go back to France. I want to move on to Finland. Also in Finland, you find study programs for international students now with tuition fees. They introduced this a few years ago, but there are Finnish government and EU scholarships for international students, but also, for example, from Aalto universities and the University of Helsinki, in scholarships for international students in certain areas and from certain countries. So there it is recommended, if you apply to the universities, to also look in the same time for their scholarship schemes. So the next section will be about the tool, the assisted mobile app, the tool as a whole. But I might give you a few words on scholarship applications in general. So if you apply for a scholarship, you have to realize that you always have two applications, right? You have one application for the university admission, and if it's a university that doesn't charge tuition fees, that's also the application for the tuition fee waiver. But for all the scholarships that are for living expenses, housing, and so on, you will have to handle in a second application. And this application might, sorry, this application might have to be addressed to another address than your application for admission to the university. There will be other deadlines, and sometimes even the deadline for the scholarships application might be before the deadline of the admission application. Yeah, so you have to find out both. We can help you with that. I'll show you in a minute how. And very important, search according to your profile. Convince the committees that you are the one to select because you exactly match the profile that they want to award or that they want to support. And another thing I wanted to say is that it's very difficult for BA students to get scholarships because talent promoting and awarding institutions mostly take this.
Studying abroad has never been this exciting. With so many options for study destinations, universities, and study programs, there is something for everyone. To make it even more fun, we now have the AssistEd app, an enterprising initiative created with the sole purpose of guiding those in the field of international student recruitment to get access to accurate information hassle-free. As a student, AssistEd app will help you chart out the journey from application submission to enrollment at the university effortlessly, ensuring that you get the best-in-class service every step of the way. As an educator, AssistEd app can give you access to an active student community along with international branding and marketing by providing you with the relevant support and service throughout the recruitment cycle. From application processing to conducting webinars and virtual fair, and from engaging qualified agents worldwide to promoting your university globally, you can do it all with AssistEd app. As an educational consultant, AssistEd can be your go-to app for reaching out to the students in your territory, communicating and counseling them to offer your services, and at the same time, network with top educators internationally and brand your consultancy with minimal investments. Download the AssistEd app to start a new chapter in international student recruitment today.
Sorry, I don't know what that was. But never mind, we can still start with the third part of the section. So, how to manage the study program of your choice in Europe. And as we recommend, with the world's #1 mobile app for international higher education in Europe. Assisted mobile app, which is much more than just another student's app. The app connects students, experts, and universities. Students looking to study overseas for the higher education can use the app for searching and applying to top universities, getting virtual counseling, participate in discussion forums, get information and support for visa processing, project accommodation, and more. Educational experts can get access to an active student community and guide them for the higher education needs. They can even conduct online counseling and events to promote their services or participate in forum discussions and more. Educators can register their universities here and promote their study programs to a diversified student community. Post news and events on upcoming programs or new accreditations received to attract more students to your institute and more with the assisted mobile app. So you see, we have this triangle structure again, connecting students, our experts, and universities. While I must say that we do not have only universities in our offers that actively say, look, we want to find students via assisted mobile app, but we draw together information from almost all European universities to make it accessible to you via the assisted mobile app. The process flows quite easy. You download the app, which is available for both iOS and Android formats and can be downloaded from the App Store or Google Play Store and is for free. You create your profile, an attractive but honest, of course, profile with all your information, which will supplement your search and enable us to find the best matching study program for you. You can search through a wide range of university options using multiple filters to find your best choice. You can join virtual events, read up on news articles, search for good housing options, or book an appointment for counseling, and also share the great news and help your peers experience the new age of international education. What I find particularly good is our search engine. Search universities and get details on their study program, intake periods, scholarship options, and more. You can filter your search based on country, study programs, tuition fees, and more aspects. For example, which I'm very often asked, you can filter for the language test requirements that the universities have, as well as other features. If you're confused between two or more schools, you can simply use the compare feature to evaluate them on different parameters to choose the best. And this is really something that no other tool does for you, because mostly you find national websites to compare universities or even to find universities. So it's very, very difficult outside the assisted mobile app to compare the offers that Swiss, Austrian, and German universities might have. University details will contain everything from the date of inception to the university of the university to the program list, campuses, ranking, and more in a structured and comparable layout. You can explore events, housing and accommodation options, projects and internship options, which is really nice because with Assisted, you get to explore Europe's #1 internship portal, Praxis. You can find during your study, so this is a bonus, an add-on that we offer to you once you are admitted. You get exposure to an international work environment, an opportunity to build a global career profile, and much more. You can also use our chats and fora, and if you prefer to have a personal physical consultancy, then we will also find you an agent near you, because we are a global acting community, and we will always find someone who is near you who can personally consult you. But with a drastic increase in online services, it's now essential to have virtual options for communication in higher education. With the Assisted Expert feature, you get the opportunity to connect with an international education expert with years of experience and knowledge in the European higher education sector, who can guide you in each and every aspect of your European university admission process. Now, scholarships, we have been talking about this a little bit already. So if you download the app and register and apply to the universities via the app and also submit the application, you can also browse through the wide range of scholarship options that are available for different countries and locate the option that best suits your profile. Additionally, you can choose to talk to our assisted experts who are fully equipped to guide you through the procedures. And in the case of scholarships, as I already pointed out, these are very individual filters, let's say, and sometimes our search engines have their limits to find scholarships options for you. So in this case, you're really cordially invited to contact our backend experts who will, for example, be able to tell exactly, okay, a student from Nigeria wanting to study mechanical engineering in Germany is entitled to this and this scholarship. Because there are so many parameters in this business, it is sometimes a bit challenging to have it in the AI, so you need to contact the personal expert, which is also nice, no? Now let me quickly elaborate also on our other options that are very important, we know, for the students on the way to Europe. Accommodation service, with the assisted mobile app, we eliminate the need for you to browse for hours, and instead we bring unlimited housing options at your fingertips. And you can get details of the apartments with price, dimensions, contact information, pictures. As accommodation provider, university or student, you can easily post your housing information on the app and get response easily. You can share your housing information with some good images if you're an accommodation provider. And talk also to experts. As a student, for example, if you look for accommodation, you can contact the expert and say, look, do you think this is really the good location? There are so many campuses in my city, I don't know exactly where I have to stay close to, and so on. Because in big cities like Berlin, it can make a big difference. Like it can make a big difference between 20 minutes distance and 1.5 hour distance from the university campus. So you better be prepared. And we'd love to support you with that, as well as the visa support. Whether for higher education or internship, the assisted mobile app offers services to support all your visa-related requirements from A to Z. Get all the information from visa procedures to documents, interviews, and more. Talk to our experts virtually and get step-by-step assistance about these questions like, which type of visa do I need? I got admission, but I didn't write it. How shall I apply and where actually do I apply? Can I do it in the small consulate general in my next town? Do I have to go to the embassy? What are the documents needed? How can I crack this visa interview? What will these guys ask me? And maybe already can you tell me what I have to answer? What is this insurance that I need? They wrote something in my letter of admission, but I'm not sure what it means. So all of these questions we can help you with. Maybe one important notice.
Studying abroad has never been this exciting. Studying abroad has never been this exciting. With so many options for study destinations, universities, and study programs, there is something for everyone. To make it even more fun, we now have the AssistEd app, an enterprising initiative created with the sole purpose of guiding those in the field of international student recruitment to get access to accurate information hassle-free. As a student, AssistEd app will help you chart out the journey from application submission to enrollment at the university effortlessly, ensuring that you get the best-in-class service every step of the way. As an educator, AssistEd app can give you access to an active student community along with international branding and marketing by providing you with the relevant support and service throughout the recruitment cycle. From application processing to conducting webinars and virtual fair, and from engaging qualified agents worldwide to promoting your university globally, you can do it all with the AssistEd app. As an educational consultant, AssistEd can be your go-to app for reaching out to the students in your territory, communicating and counseling them to offer your services, and at the same time, network with top educators internationally and brand your consultancy with minimal investments. Download the AssistEd app to start a new chapter in international student recruitment today.
Well, anyways, sorry for that technical mistake. I don't really know what the reason for that is. So my point that I wanted to make with the visa support is that we can only support you with the visa if you have a letter of invitation from a company, or let's say a working contract if you want to do an internship, or a letter of admission from an acknowledged and accredited university in Europe. Because otherwise we can help you as much as we can, but you won't get a visa. So you need this legal and official basis in order to apply for the visa, and we can't get it for you, right? This is just what I wanted to say. And there's not much more to say, actually. I'm closing the circle to what I said in the beginning. Your Unifinder offers an artificial intelligence-powered system that ensures that you do not wonder about the possibilities of admission, but get a definite picture as to which specific universities you are eligible and how you can proceed with the admission process. We predict and analyze the data of next to 500 plus higher education institutions to predict to which universities you are likely to be admitted with your personal qualification record. YUF supports you throughout the application process and makes sure that your application reaches the universities of your choice. Succeed, and with YUF, enroll in one of Europe's excellent academic environments and benefit from high-quality higher education, living conditions, and very positive prospects for your future career and life. Thank you very much for listening. Now, if you didn't do so, you also find the links in the chat. Thank you very much for that, the tech team, for putting them there. Here you find them as well. You can share the news. You can find this in the web. If you can't download the app right now, you might be willing to ask your questions or send some inquiries to us. This is how you can reach us. And now we have, I think, something like 20 minutes for the Q&A session. Maybe you got some questions. Some of you, I think, joined a little bit later. Sorry for that. I started very much in time. So if you missed something, if you have questions, if they are rather technical, you can ask the tech team concerning the app. If they are about the content of studying in Europe, I will do my best to answer your questions. Some of them are so detailed that we might need an email or an app inquiry from you in order to exactly find out, for example, is my GPA of something high enough to get entrance into the Masters of Biochemistry at the University of Vienna? This is something I'm not going to be able to answer from scratch like this. It requires some research, but if there are more general questions, structural questions, I'm quite confident that I can answer them. And so please, the floor is yours if you like. So, ladies and gentlemen, use this opportunity, please, to ask me questions. I am well prepared to answer them, and I'm glad for every question because I very often also learn something from it. So don't be shy. But if these questions are personal, or you might not know exactly what you would like to know, you can, of course, always, as I said, contact us via the app or also by email if it's just something short and small and basic. Okay. Okay, I think I got one from Michael. I don't know whether you all can see it. I can't see it in the Q&A mode, but I can see it in the chat. So I'm going to try to answer that one. Okay. So Michael, are your services free? Okay, excellent. So this is the first. To download the mobile app is free. To get this prediction about to which university you could get admission to is also completely for free. And if you decide to apply to the European universities via the assisted mobile app, there will be an application fee depending on which country where you're coming from and to how many universities you would like to apply for. So, Michael, what is the appropriate time to apply for admission and scholarship? I'd say now. Now it's a little bit too late to start in the winter term, right? So I'd say what you do is you start your research in October, November. You get ready in February, March, and application most of the time opens in April, May. Sometimes, for example, in Germany, we are quite late, it's in June. Most of the application deadlines in Germany are 15th of July, so that's very, very late and very short, but most of the other countries are earlier. So exactly. The high tide, this is for all the programs that start for the winter semester, which are most of them. You can find some programs that start with the summer semester, and there the application deadlines would be sometime in November. So yes, I mean it's kind of year round, but the main core time is April. April to prepare and May, June to handle in. And Michael asked if we have tuition fee waivers for applicants who are financially handicapped. Well, financially handicapped, dear Michael, is a little bit of a, I mean, I don't want to smile on this, but yeah, I mean, we do not have the scholarships, right? We are a service provider. So what we do is we provide you with information about who has the scholarships and to which scholarship you would be able to apply. So we do not own the funds, but we could connect you and tell you where to apply. So in order to find that out, whether you are actually eligible for scholarships, because not everyone is eligible for scholarships, you do best in downloading the assisted mobile app, opening the YUF feature, and try to find out to which universities you are eligible, and then contact the expert on the back end in order to discuss with this person to which scholarship would you be eligible and where would it be possible to apply. Normally, Michael asks if we help with airport pickup and all things. Well, normally this is not very demanded and requested by students. What we do is we help with the accommodation, which is the most important feature. Actually, we experienced that after getting the visa and after knowing when to travel, the most important and decisive questions of all of our students is, where will I live? How can I find accommodation? The students rarely ask whether they can get a pickup from the airport to the accommodation and so on, because mostly it's not included and it can be quite expensive. And for example, in Germany, Austria, Switzerland, the countries that we talked about here, it is relatively easy to get along and to take very cheap public transportation. What you, of course, always get is help to find your way. But actively, to answer your question, we wouldn't offer that service. in case I have a 10th and a 3-year diploma, am I eligible to apply for in Germany for bachelor's, Ariel? It depends from which country you are and where you got this diploma and your high school education. So with the help of a database that we have, we can directly tell you whether you are eligible to apply directly, or you have to go through the so-called Studienkolleg in order to do an exam that equals your high school degree then, and you can enter indirectly to German study programs. You would have to maybe contact the team and tell them exactly, or even better, download the mobile app and type it in your profile, from which country you are, where you did your diploma, and then we can check in our table whether this is eligible for direct access to German higher education or for indirect access to German higher education. Probably it's indirect access, but I wouldn't be able to say without this further information. Okay, Ellen, you have 5 years gap after your bachelor's program. So am I eligible for master's in management with scholarship? Well, these are two questions, right? The question of all is, are you eligible to do a master's? The question is yes, because there is no time when your bachelor expires. So it is not at all a problem that your bachelor is a while ago. You can apply regularly for a master's program in programs in management. Take care that it's not at French, for example, private business schools, because they will be very expensive. Rather go for public universities in Austria and Germany that might also offer management programs in English. As to the scholarship, as we learned that scholarships are very often based on the merits, the CV, the things the person did. It is, I think, important the question to point out why you have 5 years of gap. Because some people decide, okay, after bachelor's, I don't want to go to master's directly. I just want to work a little bit, find out about working life, and then maybe choose my specialization. This is very positive. This is very good on the CV. If you have other reasons, other things you did, you got an activist, you worked in an NGO, or you supported a movement, or you did voluntary work. It might also be a reason if you founded a family, right? If you got children and so on, this will also count, but you can't just simply, handle it in a scholarship application, say, look, my bachelor's is 5 years ago and I don't tell you what I did the last 5 years. So if you use this time in order to work, to build up a family, to do whatever, explain the gap, and explain why now is the right time to get back to master's studies, because now you know what you want to study, you make your decision, you're much more mature, these kinds of things, so that people in the selection committees actually understand your motivation and why you are exactly the person to be selected. For how many years can I be able to stay in Germany after graduation? Well, for now, the stayback period is 24 months. And within the 24 months after your degree, you are able to look for a qualified employment. And if you find a qualified employment and can show this to the immigration authorities, you will get a contemporary residence permit for the next 3 years. And then if you are employed and you can, high quality employment or quality, let's say, according to your master's degree or your bachelor's degree, if you do bachelor's in Germany, then you will be able to apply for a permanent residence. Let me tell you, if you study dentistry, it might be a lot quicker, but if you study something like, let's say, business or languages and so on, the regular process is 2 years and another 3 years. So basically, you're able to stay in Germany forever, but it depends on you on finding a qualified employment. For example, like a student job at a restaurant, being a waiter at a bar wouldn't count. But let me tell you also, the job situation, especially in Germany, is now very good for students who seek employment. Even better for those who speak German, or at least a little German. Otherwise, you're a bit restricted to Berlin and the big cities. But if you learn some German during your studies here, and you really want to build a living here, the times have never been as good, because we urgently need workforce and labor force in almost all the fields. So, highly welcome. This is actually why I'm doing this seminar, right? Because Europe needs international students and also international labor, but we are of course not brain draining from your countries. We are educating, and we're very happy if you stay back. We are also happy if you make a good career in your home country or in a third country. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have another, let's say, 5 to 7 minutes. If you like, you can ask me more questions. Okay, as far as I see, Yino's question was maybe the last one. So I'll stay around for another 5 minutes, 3 minutes maybe. If you have any more questions, yeah, I'll be available another 4 minutes. And yeah, please don't hesitate to type it in the chat if you have anything else. Otherwise, I thank you very much for your attention. We'll have a last short video to wind up the session. I can again only encourage you to download the Assisted mobile app. It's a perfect guide throughout the jungle of application to European universities that do not charge tuition fees. So we hope to be helpful for you, and I personally hope that many of you make your way to study in Germany or in another country of Europe. We really welcome international students here. We need international thinking, international brains, international talents in order to build our future society, but also for our students to be exposed to international thoughts and ideas. So this is something that we really foster and that we really value. This is also part of why many universities do not charge tuition fees to international students. Just take a little time and patience to read through all of the requirements, and we can help you with that, as I said. And now I'm going to stop talking and see whether you have more questions. Otherwise, I'd suggest, Nita, to my tech team that we wind up the session in around 3 minutes. Yes, okay. I think there will be really no more questions. So thank you very much again for listening. Thank you also for your warm words and feedback. And we will wind up now with the last and final video. Enjoy that and hope to see you in Europe. Goodbye.